Sometimes you do not realize how good you have it until you completely blow it up, until you take a match to the gasoline and watch it burn. And then, you stand in the ashes and wonder why it is so cold. I am Sloan. I am 32 years old. I work as the creative director for a fashion magazine that sits on coffee tables in houses I used to visit but can no longer afford. My life was perfect. Or at least, it looked perfect from the outside. And in my world, the outside is the only thing that matters. My husband was Lucas. He is 35. He restores antique furniture. He spends his days with wood and varnish and things that are old and dusty. He is quiet, steady, reliable. He is the kind of man who fixes the sink before you even ask. The kind of man who pays the mortgage 3 days early. The kind of man who is so good, so predictable, that he makes you want to scream. I lived with him for 5 years in a beautiful brownstone in the city. It was his house. He bought it before he met me, restored it with his own hands. It was a fortress of safety, and I felt like I was suffocating in it. I always thought it was sweet how much he adored me. He looked at me like I was a rare piece of porcelain he was afraid to break. He cooked. He cleaned. He let me spend my salary on designer bags and trips with the girls while he handled the boring stuff. The bills. The taxes. The future. I thought he was lucky to have me. That is what I told myself. I am vibrant. I am chaotic. I am the color in his beige world. I thought I was the prize. But a prize needs to be shown off. A prize needs excitement. Lucas wanted quiet nights with a book. I wanted noise. I wanted fire. And that is why I found Damon. Damon is a photographer. We met on a shoot. He has paint on his jeans and a camera that costs more than my car. He smells like cigarettes and expensive cologne. He does not care about mortgages. He does not care about the future. He cares about the moment. About light. About shadows. And about me. Damon made me feel like the main character in a movie. With Lucas, I was a wife. With Damon, I was a muse. It started small. Late nights at the office, then drinks, then weekends away that I called business trips. I did not feel guilty. That is the honest truth. I felt entitled. I told myself that Lucas was boring, that he did not understand my artistic soul. That having Damon made me a better wife because I came home happy. I came home satisfied. I was bringing energy into the house. Lucas should have been thanking me. Lucas never asked questions. He trusted me completely. Or so I thought. He was just a simple man who worked with his hands. He did not have the imagination to suspect me. He did not have the spine to challenge me. I remember the night everything shifted. It was a gallery opening. Damon was showcasing his work. I insisted Lucas come with me. I wanted to show off my world. And maybe, deep down, I wanted to see if he would notice. If he would fight for me. We were standing near the bar. I was wearing a red dress that cost $2,000. Lucas was in a suit that fit him perfectly, but looked too conservative. Damon walked over. He had that smirk, the one that made my knees weak. "Sloan," Damon said. He kissed my cheek. He lingered too long. His hand rested on the small of my back, right in front of Lucas. It was disrespectful. It was bold. It was thrilling. "And this must be the husband," Damon said. He said the word husband like it was a joke, like it was a temporary title. Lucas shook his hand. His grip was firm. His face was blank. "I am Lucas," he said. "Nice photos?" That was it. No anger. No jealousy. Just calm. Later that night, I had too much champagne. I was laughing too loud at Damon's jokes. I was touching Damon's arm every time he spoke. I was practically sitting in his lap while Lucas stood 3 feet away holding my purse. On the ride home, the car was silent. I waited for Lucas to explode. I waited for him to yell. To ask me who he was. To ask me why I looked at him like that. I wanted him to yell. I wanted him to show some passion. Some fire. But he just drove. His eyes on the road. His hands steady on the wheel. 10 and 2. Perfect driving. Boring driving. "You are quiet," I said. I rolled down the window, letting the cold air hit my face. "Did you hate it? You hated it. You hate everything I like." Lucas didn't look at me. He just blinked. "It was fine, Sloan," he said. "It was just fine." He did not sound angry. He sounded tired. He sounded like he was talking to a child who had dropped an ice cream cone. I felt a flash of irritation. He was so weak. He was so afraid of losing me that he would not even speak up when another man touched his wife. I smiled to myself in the dark. I had all the power. 2 months later, Lucas hurt his back. He was moving a heavy armoire at his shop. The doctor said he needed bed rest for a week. He could barely walk to the bathroom. He needed help with everything. Meals, ice packs, company. It was the same week Damon wanted to go to the coast. He had found this exclusive resort, 5 stars, ocean views. He said he needed inspiration. He said he needed me. I looked at Lucas lying on the couch. He looked gray. He was in pain. The house smelled like muscle cream. It was depressing. It was not the vibe I wanted. I have to go, I told him. I was packing my silk scarves into my suitcase. It is a huge opportunity for the magazine. A retreat. I cannot miss it. Lucas tried to sit up. He winced. The pain was etched on his face. Sloan, he said. I can't even put my socks on. I need you here. I zipped the suitcase shut. The sound was loud in the quiet room. Do not be dramatic, Lucas, I said. You have your phone. Order delivery. I will call your sister if you get desperate. I can't put my career on hold just because you lifted something heavy. You should have been more careful. I saw something flicker in his eyes then. For the first time, it wasn't love. It wasn't adoration. It was like a light going out in a room. Click. Darkness. Okay, he said. Just one word. Okay. He lay back down. He turned his face toward the wall. He did not say goodbye. He did not ask when I would be back. I left. I felt relieved. I felt free. I spent 4 days with Damon. We drank wine on the balcony. We took pictures on the beach. I felt alive. I posted a photo on social media, just my hand holding a wine glass against the sunset. But in the reflection of the glass, if you looked closely, you could see Damon. I knew it was risky, but I thought Lucas was too stupid to notice, too medicated to care. And even if he saw it, what would he do? He never did anything. When I came home, the house was different. It was clean. Too clean. The smell of muscle cream was gone. Lucas was sitting in the armchair, reading a book. He was dressed in a crisp white shirt and dark trousers. He looked handsome, but distant, like a stranger in a waiting room. I'm back, I announced. I dropped my keys on the table. God, the traffic was a nightmare. You have no idea how stressful my job is. Did you manage? Did you survive without me? Lucas looked up. He closed his book slowly. He placed it on the side table. I managed, he said. Welcome back. That was it. No hug. No kiss. No asking how the trip was. No asking why I was tan. I walked into the kitchen. The fridge was empty. Usually, he would have gone grocery shopping the minute he could walk. He would have made sure my favorite yogurt was there. There was nothing. Just a bottle of water and a lemon. There is no food, I yelled from the kitchen. Did you expect me to cook after driving for 3 hours? Lucas did not answer. He just turned a page in his book. I stood there, furious. He was punishing me. He was being petty. Fine, I said. I am going out. I went to meet Damon for a drink. I complained about Lucas for an hour. He is so passive-aggressive, I told Damon. He is just sitting there, breathing. It is infuriating. Damon laughed. Leave him, Damon said. Come be with me. We are the real deal, baby. I thought about it, but I liked the house. I liked the financial security. I liked having a safety net while I played on the tightrope. Not yet, I said. He needs me. He would fall apart without me. But over the next few weeks, Lucas did not fall apart. He sharpened. He stopped cooking dinner. If I came home late, there was no plate in the microwave. He ate alone. He washed his own dish. He dried it. He put it away. He stopped asking about my day. He stopped texting me to check in. My phone was silent. No, thinking of you. No, pick up milk. Just silence. He started leaving the house early. He came home late. He was always dressed well. He got a new haircut. He smelled like sandalwood. He looked dignified. I tried to provoke him. I wanted a reaction. I wanted him to beg. Or to yell. Anything to prove I still mattered. You are never home, I said one night. I was sitting on the sofa, waiting for him. Are you seeing someone? Is that it? You think you can play my game? Lucas stopped in the hallway. He looked at me. His eyes were like glass. Smooth, hard, unreadable. I am working, Sloane, he said. I have a big project. I am busy. Too busy for your wife? I snapped. You have been busy for a long time, Sloane, he said. I figured you liked the space. He walked into the bedroom. He closed the door. He started sleeping in the guest room. He said his back still hurt. He said I tossed and turned too much. I told myself I didn't care. It made it easier to text Damon. It made it easier to sneak out. I told my friends, Lucas is trying to play hard to get. It is pathetic. He thinks if he ignores me, I will chase him. He has no idea who he is dealing with. My birthday was coming up. I expected a grand gesture. Lucas always did big birthdays. Jewelry, parties, surprise trips. I figured this was his plan. The silence was just a setup. He was going to apologize. He was going to beg for my attention with diamonds. I planned to leave him after my birthday. That was my strategy. Get the gift. Secure the asset. Then tell him I was leaving him for Damon. It was cruel. I know. But I deserved to be happy. And Damon was pressing me. He said he found us a loft downtown. He said we would be the power couple of the city. On the morning of my birthday, I woke up alone in the master bedroom. No breakfast in bed. No flowers on the nightstand. I checked my phone. No text from Lucas. I got dressed. I was angry. But I was also excited. Maybe the surprise was tonight. Maybe a surprise party at the house. I went to work. I bragged to everyone. My husband is planning something huge, I said. He has been acting weird for weeks. He is terrible at keeping secrets. I left work early. I wanted to get ready. I drove home. I imagined the scene. Balloons. Champagne. All our friends. Lucas standing there with a small velvet box. Looking nervous. Looking desperate for my approval. I pulled into the driveway. The house was dark. That was part of the surprise. Surely. I unlocked the front door. Hello? I called out. I'm home. Silence. Echoing silence. I turned on the lights, and I froze. The house was empty. Not just of people. Of things. The antique armoire was gone. The Persian rugs were gone. The paintings Lucas had collected were gone. The leather sofa was gone. The dining table he had restored for 6 months was gone. My stuff was there. My IKEA shelf from college. My clothes thrown into garbage bags by the door. My boxes of magazines. But the soul of the house was gone. It was a skeleton. I ran to the kitchen. On the counter, there was a single manila envelope and a small USB drive. My hands were shaking. I opened the envelope. It was divorce papers. Signed. Dated. And an eviction notice. Eviction? I read it again. The house had been sold. Closing date was yesterday. The new owners were moving in tomorrow morning. I had 12 hours to vacate. I looked at the date on the sale contract. He had listed the house the day after I came back from the beach. The day he stopped cooking. The day he stopped caring. I plugged the USB into my laptop. I sat on the floor because there were no chairs. I opened the files. It was all there. Everything. Screenshots of my texts to Damon. The photo of the wine glass with Damon's reflection zoomed in and enhanced. Credit card statements showing the hotel rooms. Toll booth records. And worse, video footage. He had installed security cameras. Not to catch burglars. To catch me. There was a video of me sitting in this very kitchen. Talking on the phone to Damon. He is such a loser, Damon. He is restoring a chair while I am out here running the world. I can't wait to leave him. I just need him to pay off my car first. I watched myself say those words. My voice sounded shrill. My face looked mean. I looked ugly. I grabbed my phone. I called Lucas. It went straight to voicemail. I called again. And again. My heart was hammering against my ribs. This wasn't happening. He couldn't do this. He loved me. He worshipped me. Finally, on the 10th try, he answered. Hello, Sloane, he said. His voice was calm. So calm. Like water. Lucas! I screamed. Where are you? What is this? You sold the house? You can't sell the house. It is our home. It was my house, Sloane, he said. Bought before the marriage. Kept in my name. You know this. We signed a prenup. You insisted on it because you thought my debt from the shop would drag you down. Remember? I choked. I did remember. I had been so arrogant. But you can't just throw me out, I yelled. It is my birthday. How could you be so cruel? I am your wife. You ceased being my wife the moment you touched another man in front of me, he said. I just waited until the paperwork was ready. It meant nothing, I stammered. Damon meant nothing. I was just bored, Lucas. You were so boring. I needed excitement. I did it for us. There was a pause. A long, heavy silence. I am not boring, Sloane, he said quietly. I am just careful with the things I value. And I realized, I do not value you anymore. You are trying to hurt me, I hissed. You are jealous. You are vindictive. You planned this. You let me think everything was fine while you were plotting. I didn't plot, he said. I just prepared. You were the one playing games. I was just finishing the restoration, removing the rot so the structure could survive. I hate you, I screamed. You are a coward. You didn't even fight for me. You weren't worth the fight, he said. And then, he hung up. I sat on the floor of the empty house. The silence was louder than my screaming. It pressed against my ears. I called Damon. He was my backup plan. He was my real love. Damon, I sobbed. He kicked me out. He sold the house. I have nothing. I am coming to you. We can get that loft. We can start now. Whoa, slow down, Damon said. His voice sounded tinny. Distracted. He kicked you out? Like, you have no money? He froze the joint account. I said, but I have my salary. We can make it work. Sloane, baby, Damon said. I can't do a loft right now. My gallery show didn't sell well. I thought you were bringing the settlement money. What? I whispered. You said you loved me. I do, he said. But I am an artist, Sloane. I can't support you. You are. You are high maintenance. Without the husband's money. Look, this is getting heavy. I am not ready for this kind of drama. Let's take a break. Yeah? The line went dead. I was alone. Truly alone. Surrounded by garbage bags of designer clothes I had nowhere to wear. 1 year later, I am working as a junior editor at a bridal magazine. It is a step down. A huge step down. The scandal of the divorce. The public nature of my affair. It ruined my reputation in high fashion. Image is everything. And my image is tainted. I live in a studio apartment. The radiator clanks. The view is a brick wall. I take the subway. I was sitting in a coffee shop today. Cheap coffee. Burnt taste. I picked up a copy of an architectural digest. And there he was. Lucas. He was on the cover. The Art of Restoration, the headline read. He looked older. Better. He had a beard now. He looked distinguished. Powerful. And standing next to him was a woman. She was plain. That was my first thought. She wore a simple linen dress. No makeup. Her hair was tied back loosely. She was holding his hand, resting her head on his shoulder. But then I looked closer. At his face. He was looking at her. With an expression I recognized. It was the look he used to give me. But deeper. More settled. He looked like a man who had found something precious. Something real. The article said they had opened a gallery together in Europe. It said he credited her with giving him the courage to expand his business. It said they were expecting their first child. I looked at the woman again. She wasn't flashing a diamond. She wasn't wearing Prada. She was just there, peaceful. I felt a bile rise in my throat. She is nothing, I whispered to the empty coffee shop. She is boring. Just like him. They deserve each other. I tried to summon the old arrogance. The fire. I tried to tell myself that I was still Sloane. That I was too vibrant for them. That I had shaken him up and made him interesting. That he owed his success to the trauma I caused him. He should thank me. Really. I made him a man. But as I looked at the photo, at the way his hand covered hers, protective, solid, unwavering, I realized something terrible. The silence hadn't been a punishment for me. It had been a gift for him. He hadn't been suffering in the quiet. He had been healing. He had been exhaling. And I was still holding my breath, waiting for a fight that would never come, waiting for a noise that would never start. I put the magazine down. I sipped my cold, Bitter coffee. I adjusted my scarf to hide the stain on my blouse. I won, I said aloud. I escaped the boredom. But the brick wall outside my window didn't answer. And for the first time, I realized that the silence was not listening to me anymore. It was just silence. And I was the only one making noise in it.